You know, trapping is the subject. That's what we talking about. Like, you know, ever since I came in the game, opened the door, you know, everybody got their own, you know, version of what they think trapping is. It's about getting money, being successful, you know, keeping it pushing no matter what you got going on or what you're going through, because it's still thug motivation. The Bankroll Fresh song, D Rich was Bankroll's producer. Him and D Rich and Bankroll had a tight bond like me and Shawty Red. It was kind of all in the same thing, so that was inevitable. That was going to be great regardless, because D Rich knows both of us and we all grew together as far as music. It just sounded like what Trap or Die was supposed to sound like.
What's up, world? It's the boy Don Cannon. I'm definitely back. Pulled up on my man, but I'm not gonna tell you who we with today. This is Backtrak, baby. Long story shorts, and we in Atlanta again. Let's get to it. Yes. Check it out, world. It's the #1 co-signer, Don Cannon. I'm here on Backtrak Special Edition. And long story short, I'm here with one of my main mans, D Rich.
What's up? What it is, Cannon, what it is.
Man, we've been trying to do this for a long time, and especially, you know, we always work together. I always invite you over to the studio. Last time we saw each other, you was coming to work on Uzi stuff.
Right.
I told you, I was like, man, we got to figure out a way to get you, you know, in these projects, because you're a legend to the young cats coming up. As soon as you say your name, they're like, oh, you about to do D Rich.
That's what's up, man. I'm glad you came. I'm glad to be a part of it, you feel me? You know, you're a legend yourself.
Oh,
I
man.
look up to you, always did, so it's an honor every time.
Oh, man. You know, so many people say so many great things about you. I was just with C-Note.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody was like, man, when you doing D Rich? It's like everybody's waiting to see this moment. That's why I said this is a special edition.
That's
you know
hard.
what I mean?
That's hard.
Tell the people that don't know anything about you, where you from, when you basically came to the A.
I say I started like at 14, Fruit Loops 3, you know, way back in the day, like. And I sold my first beat in like 11th grade for like $100. And when I did that, I can't.
That's real hustling.
I can't describe the
11th grade.
feeling, like, and the dude who bought it from me, like, he pulled up and was playing in his car. He used to have a car. He was playing the song. He used to be bamming so hard. He had like 12s in the back. And everybody liked it, that song, you know what I mean? So from that day on, just selling beats. I reached out to Shawty Red through MySpace. He hit me back with his number, got in contact with him, but I was still young. He couldn't sign me. I was like 17. You see what I'm saying?
And what city were you in?
I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
I was Jacksonville, Duval.
Duval.
Come on, man, you gotta know it, 904. You feel me, Duval County.
Right.
But fast forward, man, got like 18, 19, and you know, we did the deal or whatever, but it still took some time. Like, I was still in Jacksonville working and stuff. Sending some beats, I was sending them through the mail. He wouldn't even email. I had to go to the post
CDs?
office. Yes.
Or
Nah, data disc.
data disc.
I put the beats on the data
Wow.
disc, send it through the mail. He had told me, like, he was like, I'm in the studio with some dudes, but you know, everything was kind of like on tuck. And then he called me, like, Jeezy album came out in September 08. He called me like in June, like, boy, you got a song on Jeezy album, I promise you. I didn't believe it. It came true, man. September 08, my first placement, Who Dat?
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I remember everybody, like, from my city, like, kind of being upset, like, man, he said your name. Said his name on your track, but I didn't care. Like, Shawty Red opened the door for me, changed my life.
1000%.
He did a lot for me, you see what I'm saying? So I never forget that.
Shout out to the GOAT, Shawty Red.
The true GOAT, for sure.
Let's take it back to Jacksonville. What was your biggest inspiration of when you were trying to come up and be a producer? It was something you always wanted to do, or something you got into? I know with me, I always was into music, but growing up, the secret nobody knows about me is I wanted to be an architect.
Right.
But I also kind of went into building things.
Right.
So I built beats. That was my architecture. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I lived a lot with my granny, and all those quiet storms, like the old school music. I listened to so much old school music. And my daddy used to buy every CD. And I used to look at the booklets and see who produced what. And I used to always want to see my name in one of the booklets.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
My auntie used to have a little KCO keyboard, you feel me? And I used to play on it. But the thing was, hours would go by, and I'd be on that keyboard all day, you know what I mean? So I knew I was stuck on it, but my true passion was football, you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Once
See, I
football
was in
didn't work
basketball
out,
too.
I just went for it. And like I said, I knew people was buying beats in school, so when football didn't work out, I was like, man, I'm gonna take this music.
So you wanted to go to NFL?
Man, what?
When did you
wrong.
realize you wasn't making it to the NFL?
My 12th grade year.
You're talking?
My coach, he suspended me the first 4 games of the season.
Wow. Why?
Friday, when we had our first game of the season, I was like 2 minutes late walking into the locker room after school.
Oh, man.
Told me to go
That's
home.
supreme discipline right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized that too. When I was watching Kobe, I was telling everybody that I played with Kobe and a lot of people that went to the NBA. that when I saw them playing, I was like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna make that. Like they got a different discipline. You know, I was splitting my time between music and basketball, so I knew that people that was going 150% all basketball was gonna make it before I got there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you know it's deep. It was kind of, it wasn't really like that because, you know, Florida a football state, like big time. And a lot of my peers, a lot of my family members, cousins, they went on to go to college and stuff like that. So I'm also felt left out. Like that supposed to been me and I didn't, you know what I mean? So I just worked hard on something else and by the grace of God, Shawty came out of nowhere through MySpace. You feel me?
So when you were on MySpace, was that your intention to hit him or did you hit a random bunch of people? He was the person?
Nah, he was just the only, all right, so you used to post beats on your page.
Yep.
So the same beats, like I said, I sold in school, I'll put some that I didn't sell on the page, and a lot of people was hitting me up. Jeezy had dropped that. I was a big fan of Jeezy, by the way. I really was the biggest fan of Shawty Red, which made me a fan of Jeezy.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
But he dropped a DVD with his album, that first album.
Yep.
And Shawty Red was on there, and I'll never forget seeing it. I was like, man, I'm gonna run into him, I'm gonna meet him. And I looked him up one day. He was on MySpace, and I just DM'd him, like, we messaged him. He hit right back with his number, 44. I never forget that number.
That's crazy. It's funny thing that you brought up the MySpace and composing the beats on the page, because IG now allows you to do that.
Right.
The new update is going to be able to post your beats on a page.
Oh,
so that's
game
important. I'm
changer.
trying to figure out what that's going to mean to the upcoming producer and being able to reach out to people. I mean, they're always posting up stuff on their story, but just to have the first click access is probably going to be a different level.
Right, it was game changing for me. Like I said, he didn't even have to respond, reach out. You know, it was life changing. You feel me?
And then what kind of music were you making at first? Were you just were you going for the
I
trap
thought I was
sound?
Lil Jon. I thought I was Lil Jon. I was Lil Jon, biggest fan. You feel me? Still is. You feel me? But like Who You With, B.I.B.R. All that. Like I was big Lil Jon fan. So a lot of my beats more so sounded like
Just
Lil
tearing
Jon.
the club up.
You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I always had those type of horns and big brass, you know, Florida.
Same me, yep.
You see what I'm saying? But it just more so felt like nobody wasn't going to listen to that. You know what I mean? Lil Jon more so had the sound. Like that sound was the sound. You feel me?
What were I asked this to everybody. What were the first drum sounds that you used, and where'd you get them from?
Fruit Loops, the stock sounds, vintage 808, the whatever, like I think it's on like 9 drums, the vintage clap, the vintage hi-hat.
For real? So you made all that sound good?
All that.
Good enough to send to
I
Shawty
swear
Red?
I wish, yeah.
Wow.
Now don't get, like after a while, like I said, by me having beats on the MySpace, other producers was kind of like reaching out and like, oh man, I like your sound. You know, I got some sounds too. Send me. I'm like, okay, send me some.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep.
You know, I got it with B Weezy through MySpace. I got it with Sunny Digital through MySpace.
Dope.
You see what I'm saying? And just bouncing stuff around.
So y'all
Came
just
up with some
started
sounds,
exchanging
you know what I mean?
sounds. And got you. It's an infamous 808 that everybody chases you guys down. And was that made, or was that just something you found and you just kind of like tweaked it to make it your own? I know it's actual 808 is something that I think you're known for, even though outside of playing, that people be trying to emulate and kids are emulating now. And you hear it in all the sounds. Like, you know, you hear some of the new guys that's dropping records. It's in that pocket. You know what I mean? Sure. Is that something that you made, something you found, or?
Like I said, I had a similar sound to Shawty Red, but for my like 21st birthday or something, he blessed me with a Kodak little
like a flash drive.
Flash drive, just like this, loaded me up with sounds, like happy birthday.
Oh.
So he gave me the sound.
Blessing.
You know what I mean? Literally gave me the sound.
Blessings.
Literally. You see what I'm saying? And I was able to tweak it, turn it, and you know, as time went on, perfected it more, turned it how I wanted to turn it into. You know.
Who got you off Fruity Loops and into the MPC?
Really him, but I just started on Fruity Loops because that's all I could get. But I always knew I wanted beat machines and keyboards. I always knew I wanted the hardware. I used to go to Guitar Center. Well, back then it wasn't even Guitar Center. It was like a
Sam Mash.
Jacksonville. We had another store too in Jacksonville. I forgot the name of it. I used to go in there like at least once a week and just play around and Phantom and stuff, just other keyboards. So I always knew I wanted it. But when I got up there with him, I was making beats on his beat machine. So, matter of fact, this the same, Jeezy bought me this beat machine.
Okay.
Jeezy bought me this. I wish I had my
That's a
other
classic.
computer. He bought the computer and some speakers, some Yamahas. That same birthday, by the way, when Shawty Red gave me this.
Oh man, they loaded you up.
Yeah, we made that last laugh. That was around the time.
That was a joint, the mixtape? Oh, that was a joint. That was a joint. What makes you a fan of hardware more than software?
It's not perfect. You know, software is perfect, which means like it's not. It don't sound as real.
That's right.
You You know, hardware sound real, it sound live, it sound like, it's like swingy. You know what I mean? It's just,
it's your character.
It's exactly.
It's your character.
Exactly.
When it's regimented in the software.
More warm, more, it's more fuller. I can't explain it. It's just like a sound. I can't explain it.
Mm-hmm. Side by side, have you made any records as big as some of your records on software versus hardware?
Yeah, well, Who That was on software.
Okay.
Who That was on software. I made that on Fruit Loops at my granny house.
And that's knocking.
And that was the one that set me up. You feel me?
That's knocking.
All that was made on Fruit Loops.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But I think the transformation was like Super Freak. That's on hardware.
Okay. That was a killer.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. The first songs, I had this song with Rick Ross called Finals.
That was banging too.
Yeah. Matter of fact, shout out to Ross. He was the first one to put my name, like produced by D Rich. That song.
That's fire.
Rick Ross.
That's super dope. I wanted to get into one of my birthday twins.
Yeah.
Is Bankroll Fresh. We share the same birthday. We just 7 years
hard.
apart. You know what I'm saying?
hard.
People don't know that.
That's hard.
We connected early.
Yeah.
Through his dad way early, and you know what we never told the world was we were trying to sign him at one point.
I was
Generation Now, you know what I'm saying? And we had long talks with him. And I felt like he was just on his job outside of any label, outside of any team. He just knew what he wanted to do.
Right.
He knew the records that he had.
Right.
And just being in the streets, people loved him. Just knowing that I had that type of relationship with him then, and you built that, was that was your chance at being the producer for an artist that was only for you in a sound.
Right.
How did that develop?
We had been locked in for the longest, man. To be honest, I met his cousin, Montana the Mac. He used to come to Jacksonville with Big and Rankin.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I used to go to Big and Rankin studio a lot, and
Shout
I met
to
Montana.
Big. Yep.
He had a song. He gave me this CD. He had a song on the CD, like number 17, but Fresh was on there. I was like, man, who is Young Fresh? You feel me? He like, oh, that's my cousin. He linked it up. And when I moved up there with Shawty, it's so crazy. The first night I went out with Shawty, we went to a club called Roosters. They don't have Roosters no more.
I remember Roosters.
The very first night, Fresh just so happened to be in there, walked straight up on me. He had like an Empire chain on, but he walked straight up to me and dapped me up. And we had always been in contact, you feel me? But Fresh was like moving around, you know, he didn't really take it serious, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I used to be on some, you know, every time I see him, he'd be like, man, send me some beats. I'm like, man, you playing, man. I ain't finna play with you, bro. He's like, nah. So one day I seen him, we was at Zaytoven, he had like a movie premiere, like Birds of a Feather or something, like Atlanta Station. And I seen him. He was like, man, come on, bro, send me some beats. I'm like, man, you playing, man. If you want some beats for real, just come to the house. Like 2 days later, he came, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I pulled up some beats, and he was just freestyling. The feeling I felt was a feeling I never felt before in my life.
He was the greatest at the freestyle, boy.
Oh my God, like, I just knew it. You see what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I told him, you can have every beat you want to. If you come here, like, you gotta come and get them though. You see what I'm saying? I'm not
That was the smartest thing you ever did.
And
come get them.
Matter of fact, he stayed. He moved in. You see what I'm saying? And that was the real difference. He stayed with me. We worked like within the 2 weeks. ESPN, Dope Boy shit, all that was done.
Wow.
We had like 18 songs done in 2 weeks.
I didn't know that.
But like you said, he was such a hustler. He was like a young vet. So like, he knew he had these collection of songs, and instead of rushing to put these out, he was like, nah, we're gonna bounce. I'm gonna go around the Cassius, get the Hot Boy song, go to Zay, show him how to do it. Like he was a young vet. He had to be around the Gucci Mans and all that. So he knew how to do his thing, you know what I mean, on his own.
That's what I was saying. I felt like us coming in was just interference. Like, I felt like he was already on the move and already knowing what he wanted to do. He just had a vision of what he was trying to do. You know?
Y'all would have been perfect, to be honest with you, but it just worked out how it worked out. You feel me?
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. Shout out to that guy. That's just one of my favorites. Especially, you know, y'all collaboration is like Dre and Snoop of the South to me.
I appreciate it.
Really underrated.
That's big.
But I always reference that for just like continuity.
Right.
Like just two people parallel on a vision was just like always what we try to do in the game with an artist. You know
he poured a lot into me. You know, he brought a lot out of me too. You know what I mean? It made me better. You see what I'm saying? So like, it was like a match. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. To be honest.
Who else was your favorites to work with? Like somebody that just like, you just meshed with really well. Like
Jeezy, like he was.
Of course, the young man.
I mean, I gotta be honest, like he did a lot for me, like not just musically, but he took me around with him, you know what I mean? Gave me a lot of game. Rick Ross.
Ross is definitely one.
You see what I'm saying? I pulled up to his house. I remember I was out there one day. I played him like 80 beats. Like literally went through all beats. And, you know, he did a song, Box Chevy. and shot the video in my city, shut the whole city down,
Bob
had me
Shelley
out
was
there.
hard.
Like, I'll never forget that. You know what I mean?
hard.
So Ross, pretty much everybody I done worked with, man. I was just out there with Future, man. Them boys like showed me a lot of love out there.
Yeah.
Made me feel like I don't show myself enough love. You know what I mean? So
Yep. That's what happens sometimes when we're creating and we're just in a space. We don't give us enough time to really elaborate. Like, oh, I did this.
Right.
Or I actually helped captivate the sound.
Right.
You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
don't get to that, and sometimes we got to do that. They talk about flowers. We talk about medals. I'm like,
Right.
yo, I'm giving you a medal now for
Appreciate
helping
it.
everything you did with Metro on the new albums and
Appreciate it.
and all that. It's super crazy. You know
appreciate
what I mean?
it. Shout out to Metro, man. Like,
It's the young.
super humble, man. Super genuine. Like, a lot of stuff he don't have to do. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
I
1,000%.
appreciate him on another level. I tell him that all the time. Like, well, I appreciate you. But he throw it back at me, but I'm like, man, nah, I don't know what you talking about. I appreciate you.
I do the same thing.
feel me?
You know what I mean? We
Real
don't
talk.
have to. You know what I
don't
mean?
have to.
What's your favorite piece of equipment, period, ever?
Gotta be the Phantom X6, you feel me? Just cause a lot of my main sounds come from out of this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Shawty Red put me on a lot of his main sounds come from it. And I love them all, to be honest. I love the Chronos. This the new Phantom. They got a lot of new sounds. I got a lot of expansions in there too.
How
so
you like that?
I got them expansions in there, which,
Did you have expansions in this?
yeah, I got expansions
Okay.
in this too. So
Yeah.
they both load. That's why I still keep it right there.
Got you. Okay.
All three of these loaded. And then I got these modules right here.
Oh, yeah.
The Proteus and the
with
Stream Lead.
MoFat.
Both of them expansions up too. Everything loaded.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got like 5-6 different things going on.
Yo,
I got more.
Those are my go-tos right there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Back in the day?
For sure.
Yeah. And Proteus is crazy.
Shawty Red put me on them though, so I got to keep it a buck. Like Shawty Red put me down on you feel me?
Yeah, I think when I met him, he had a 3,000 MPC,
Yeah.
and then he moved, I think he had a 4,000, and
Yeah.
he moved into
The black one.
The
He got a black
joint.
one, yeah.
Exactly.
But the one you talking about, it was a 2000 XL.
There
That's
you go.
the main one.
Yup.
I wish he never stopped using it, man. That's the one. Like,
Yeah, I think that because he moved around so much, like, you know, hardware is delicate.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to keep moving around.
Right.
You're like, bro, I got to set all this up.
Right.
Like, when they're coming to your house, it's like, I'm set up. I'm ready
Right.
to rock. When you got to go to Blue Room, you got to go to Patchwork, and you got to come
break
bring
all that
this-
stuff down. Yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
after a while, you're like, man, let me try to
Thanks, yeah.
just, get away from, the breakdown and, the setup.
So I said about Fresh, it was key to just come here. You see what I'm saying? So we don't have to do all that, break stuff down. Just pull up.
All right, so we're doing All There Jeezy.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorites, one of everybody's favorites. And I think this is I had over like 300 people ask me about this record and ask me about having
crazy.
you on the show. And this is just text and everything. People just got me on the boards and everything. Like, your name is there. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll make sure it happens. You did it on a 1,000 in
Yeah.
BC, right?
1000. I got the X6 MPC X right here. That's way later down the line, but this was made in like 2016. This is one of the last songs me and Fresh recorded.
So the song was Fresh's at first?
Yeah, the song was Bankroll Fresh.
Okay.
My computer went out, man. I wish I could just play the original. It's on that computer though.
Yeah.
But,
y'all will get that on another time.
okay.
But yeah, so it was Fresh's, and then
Yeah, I did it on this. It was Fresh song. To be honest with you, that's why I was telling you earlier, like the beat was really like a 2-bar loop.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, me and Fresh would record right before we about to leave or go somewhere. So like, we was about to go out that night, and really wanted something to ride to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's do one real quick.
that's hard.
So it probably took me like 10, 15 minutes to make the beat.
Mm-hmm.
Another 10, 15 minutes for him to record it.
Mm.
He only had like a 1-2 take,
Wow.
bounced it down, and rolled to it.
Wow. Just to ride around the
Just
city.
to ride around the city.
That's
just
some
to go out
love
tonight.
right there. I'm just doing this to ride around the street.
Just had, let's make one real quick. You know how that goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do one real quick. Boom,
sure.
boom, boom, boom. Let's go.
So the machine that Jeezy bought, you did the record, and
Yep.
it wound up actually being back to Jeezy. It's crazy.
Right. Took it back to dog. Like, I was working on Jeezy, Trap It Out 3.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Me and Fresh had, we work every day basically. So,
they had records together.
We just working like we normally do. So I go over here with Jeezy one day, work with him. Then next night, me and Fresh being there recording, back and forth. So when he passed, it just happened. You know what I mean? So like about 2 weeks later, we was at Tree Sound, and I took him like 5 songs. Like, bro, you got to put Fresh on this, bro. Like, you got to put him. I don't care if it's the last song of your album, bro. Just,
Right.
you feel me? But he went through them, and I think All There was the second song. We went to the third one. He didn't even listen to the other 2. He was like, man, go back to that second one.
I know it. I know once he hear it, he gets stuck.
Yeah.
Don't move past that.
Yeah, you like, go back to that second one. He listened to it. he went, I ain't gonna lie, just like I said, Fresh did 15 minutes. He did it fast.
Yeah,
it's like he
don't
knew
play. Yeah.
he knew how to do it, what gap, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Did it, we listened to it. Oh, that's hard. Let's go to another one. And to be honest with you, it wasn't made to be a single like that. We was in Miami and he was shooting a video down there. They was playing the music off his car.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think whatever song was number 6, and you know how when song it's gonna go to number 7, all there came on. Mm-hmm. And everybody was out there was like, whoa, what's that? Man, this other song, that's cool, man. Play that song, you know what I mean? He looked at me like, so what? Go ahead, let's run it. We did a little clip. It went viral. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of forced to put it out.
Yeah, I remember when he came and played it for me, I was like, yo, what is this?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the first sound that you actually started the beat with? Was it like a drum, or how do you start the beat? Do you start melodies? Do you start with drums?
A lot of times I start melodies.
Okay.
If I'm looking for, like, say if I want to make a different bounce of a beat, I start off with the drums. Just because I want to create a different feel, you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But something like this, when I know I'm going quick, I'm going to just do melodies.
Okay.
So the first thing, this is the first track in 6A. Started off with a horn. Matter of fact, I'm going to solo it. I'm going to mute everything and just load them up as I go. Like I say, rushing, trying to be fast. Mm-hmm. Instead of making a whole nother melody,
you just copy over.
Just copy with another sound.
Sometimes it's like that. You know what I mean?
Feel me? So that same melody is the same. It's the same melody, just with a different sound. See what I'm saying? So you add them two. Now the horn just a little bit under there. You know what I mean? Just to add a little texture. Next sound. Just a little bell. Some little movement. You know what I mean?
So those that don't know, you actually played this. This is
just played this. So like,
so show them that you actually played it, because they won't know the difference between he got that loop from somebody.
No. That's okay. So boom. Y'all gotta forgive me now. It's old beat.
Oh, we know. You gotta remember that. So the thought process is to remember it, how it was, and recreate it from your brain.
Right.
Not exactly the same.
Okay.
Sometimes they don't, but this is how I do it. So you just showing them the process of how you actually played it.
Yeah. So it really sound like this. Like I said, I was rushing, just trying to hurry and make a beat. So I'm not even trying to do a bunch of crazy melodies. No, it's a dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You see what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
Oh, okay, I said. Dun, 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 dun. You see what I'm saying? Just that. So you add them. Oh, you know what? Let me go back to the. Let me see. You know what? I used to have a step
foot pedal.
Yeah. But that's basically the melody. So if I had the pedal, I could just hold it in there.
Yeah.
But okay, let's see. So that's pretty much them. Okay, that's just a bell, a turbulent bell. See.
That's what you need in the trap beat.
Basic pattern. See what I'm saying?
Fire.
Next. So it's like a little string, you know what I mean, a little under.
Like electric strings, playing the same thing.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Little basic. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to put to the mind of just running through it, like not even thinking.
Yeah. When you set the tone, you said y'all wanted to do something to run the streets with, and it makes sense.
It kind of opened me up as a producer. Like I said, I used to try to be super theatrical and all that. Once I learned, like, hold on, this went up? The easy stuff? Oh, man. All we got to do is make basic beats now. You know what I mean? It's not even hard no more.
Are you self-taught?
Everything's self-taught. That's what kind of...
Everything's self-taught?
I feel like that's what the beauty came from. I had nobody to teach me, so I had to learn my way, which gave me an orthodox kind of way of making
Got you.
beats. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the last one was just this horn, little bass and horn. Hold on.
Big time horns.
Oh. Okay. You see what I'm saying? That's it. So you got them loaded up.
Now
I'm
to the
gonna go
part
to the
they
drum.
want to hear you do
You see what I'm
drums.
saying?
So you got to do the drums.
Two-step hi-hat, clap,
Yep.
snare. So just to show it. Just to do that.
Yep. So you keep all your drums on one track?
No, I separate them so that one I'm rushing. They say you see how easy it
And
is to
separate it later.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Separate them later. Right.
Yep.
I think 9 is a drum, so I'm gonna come back to later. But I'm gonna put it in the drum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you tune your 808s or you just play them out?
I play them out through here, so hold on. Tripping. So I turn the 16 level on, boom. Nah. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, old beats, so I don't remember how long you see. Something like that. You see what I'm saying? How easy though?
Fire though.
And think about it, I'm doing a 2-step. So doom, doom, then that record.
That's it.
You feel me? But see, at the end, all I did was double them up. So I went from a 2-bar to a 4-bar, then 4-bar to an 8-bar, then boom. See what I'm saying? Literally took like 10 minutes to make the beat.
Fire.
Shawty Red House, checks.
So you got 8 outs going into there, so you record all the sound straight through?
Straight through, so I got everything already hooked up.
Dope. Did this become one of your favorite beats, or you got some other ones that's better?
I ain't gonna lie,
To
this is
you.
one of my favorite beats. I ain't gonna lie, but and it's more so because it was simple and it kind of changed everything. Like I said, listen to Super or any other I gotta have dun, 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 dun. You feel me?
Yeah.
And a lot of artists would tell me like, man, every beat don't gotta be all like, give me some.
don't.
You feel me?
Yep.
I used to have not a block, but I used to always feel like the beat was empty. So I always would add, but that beat right there kind of showed me like, man, you don't need much.
Yeah, the voice is the last instrument.
Exactly.
You know,
It changed
but
everything.
when with me, I found that out because I wasn't a writer or a rapper at the time, so I didn't know what was missing.
Right.
I just had to tell me like, yo, listen, this is not that. I'm the last instrument.
Right.
I get it.
The
Once it landed and it was a placement, I was like, oh, I get it.
You see it now, yeah.
What made you not sample?
I can't do it. Like I could do it, but
Is that a business thing or just because that's just not you? Or you just be like, I don't know how to really.
no, I love to do it. It's more so like I had the 1000 first, right? I could never get the sample on the tempo.
Got you.
I could never line it up. It just throw me off when it's not right in line.
Yeah, because once it's messy, it's like, man, I don't want to mess up my whole day.
You see what I'm saying? It was more so frustrating than it, you know what I mean? But I got some beats that I done like, you know what I mean?
Try to sample
Once
a little
they gave me like, now dudes will kind of send you a sample and they got the tempo already. It already says
So you can line
drop
it up.
You feel me?
I was just thinking like, what would a D-Rich beat sound like with a chopped up sample?
That'd be crazy.
You know
That'd
what
be
I'm saying?
crazy. I be trying to do too much sometimes. I be trying to make a sample.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
C-Note was showing me that too. Like C-Note is basically when he plays, it's almost a damn sample.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I kind of got that from Shawty Real. Like a lot of his beats, he used to play me a lot of his beats without the drums on it. And he was like, man, you need to start making your beats sound like more movies without the drums. And then when you drop the drums on it, you know what I mean? Now it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So,
I
put me
always
onto
was
that.
not confident because I knew I couldn't play that well. So I'd be thinking like my samples would sound crazy. I'm like, oh, that sound crazy. But I knew how to chop up samples, but also came from the East Coast where that's what we were doing already. So I knew how to manipulate those sounds.
But you another level. Like, it's like, I feel like, they'll try to make it seem like anybody can sample, but can't nobody sample like Don. Like it won't sound like Don. It's a whole nother level.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, it's a different vibe, and it contains a lot of work. But just watching plays, like, man, I want to play some shit. I want to be like,
No, that's why
I've done a few, but it's not like I focused on it.
Yeah.
But I definitely I think the ASR too, not having the regiment, like you can play, see how that's playing simultaneously?
Yeah.
The ASR was so offbeat, I had to like literally chop and piece, and it stopped me from doing this because I couldn't find a sound, and then I had to make it all over again. It wasn't staying in MPC correctly. So
like flip-flop, basically.
Bro, it was hard, but you know, it worked out. It worked out.
Oh, man, for sure worked out. I watched you break down them beats. I was like, man, that's so hard, bro. Like,
I worked it out. We worked it out.
I didn't know you could, like, I didn't even know that machine was, you could make a beat on it like that.
Yeah, I don't think it was meant to. I have never even seen nobody use the box. Like, we used the keyboards before, but the box was just like, I don't know if people were supposed to be using the sounds. I don't know if I manipulated. I just never ran into somebody that was like, yo, I use that too. Not once. Everybody like, I had it, but did they make a beat with it? People was like, I hated that shit.
And see, sometimes that's what make you, bro. Like,
yeah,
they don't understand it. You feel me? I think that's what make Don Kennedy. So what you made money long on?
That was actually Ableton.
Oh, yeah, I could tell. Like,
Yeah,
I could tell.
that was Ableton, and then I got out of the ASR era probably like around 2010, only because again I was traveling. I didn't want my box to break. You know what I'm saying? So I got into the computer shit because it was like I had it right here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It was
move
easy.
with you.
I was doing Logic, and Logic took a lot for you to make that shit sound good.
Yeah.
And then I got into, once I found Ableton, I felt like it was a DJ program because I came from that world.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, I know how to manipulate it. But every once in a while, I'll bring the ASR out on different things. Like I'll bring the MPC out and do things. Like I just did this Conway and Ludacris and GID. That was on the 1000. So it's like, the live. So, it's certain things like that I want to get into where I'm actually, I was always the person back in the day, even when Jeezy and them was like, yo, come to Patchwork. I always wanted to be like, yo, bring whatever out. Yeah. I want to make a beat on anything. I don't want to be that person like, I don't got my stuff with me.
Yeah.
I don't be like, yo, I don't got my computer, but you pull up the Triton, pull up the Phantom. I'm going to make the whole beat in that joint. I watch Toomp do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I watch people just, give me anything. That's how I wanted to be. You got Pro Tools? Fuck it. I'm going to make it in Pro Tools. I'm going to bang on the table. I just was that tenacious with trying to get on people's projects that I didn't care what machine was there.
Right.
So, I'm glad that you got all the hardware, and I'm glad that we got a chance to come to the Mainer and kind of like see all the stuff you got going on.
Man, I'm glad y'all came through, man. I've been wanting to be a part of this. Like I said, ever since I seen you breaking down, and I love how you do it. I was like, man, I gotta be a part of that.
Oh man, you're a part of it now.
Yes, sir.
It's the
man,
family.
History, man.
Thanks for stopping by, man. And this is his house. This is the Long Story Short special edition. And this is D Rich, all there, the legendary.
Yo.